And what's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 146 of the podcast, the first podcast of the new year of 2024. And I wouldn't have done it without any other person than my co-host, Luke Gans. Thank you for being here, buddy.
How we doing, people? You guys miss me, you shitheads?
I miss you. I miss doing the podcast. We took all of December off.
Yep.
And it felt like a lifetime.
Forever.
I'll tell you what. we were supposed to film this episode last week, and I canceled it.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I was in a bit of a slump of not wanting to do anything.
Dude.
So
I feel that though. Sometimes you just gotta do it, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
last month was so hectic. I just needed a time to relax. You know.
New Year's Day.
Yeah.
The smartest thing I actually ever did was I returned stuff on New Year's Day. Spent all day New Year's Day return. Or actually, no, Christmas Day.
Oh really?
Christmas
Day. You did?
Christmas Day. 26th.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. Yeah. No, the first is my Mecca day, because I watch all my college football on the first, because New Year's they do all the New Year's Six bowls, so they do all the big bowl games that day.
Gotcha.
So I was in my heaven. I fucking sat on my couch. I watched my Oregon Ducks win. Fucking smoked Liberty. Good try. Watched that. Good college games. It was a blast. But no, the 26th, when everyone's lazy the day after Christmas and everyone's off.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's doing whatever. Dude, I woke up that morning at like 8 o'clock. I was spick and span, ready to go. Right out the door, Marshall's. This place, that place.
Well, there you go.
Everything.
There you go.
And I was like, it was funny because I thought it would be crazy. Dude, it was so nice. I was like, I will do that for the rest of my life.
I'm sure it was probably empty for the most part, those stores and everything like that.
Yeah, but you think that a lot of people would be like trying to go and get their last minute savings, or like deals that might still be going on, or exchanging, seeing what's there.
Yeah.
Bro, walked in everywhere. It was great. It was awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, bro, that's life.
Yeah,
that's the new year.
It is the new year, and I knew we had to get this done either tonight or tomorrow, just because I felt like, all right, the new year started and everything.
Yeah, we got to do it.
The December break was over. Mm-hmm. Let's get out of this 1 week slump. Let's get this done.
By the next thing you know, it'll be like January 30th.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
You got to get it done.
It's easy to slip into slumps and everything like that. As far as anything, you know, you just got to keep on going, you know, and especially when it's something you like to.
Like we talked about before, the gym, movies, dude. I said like movies and TV. All of last year, and we'll get into this with like what we get into as the topic.
Yeah.
But like, did a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
My wife loves like reality, as people have seen probably that episode.
Yeah.
I watch it, but I don't watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
so for me, like, I watched my couple of shows. It was a good year for shows for me. Mm-hmm. Movies, though, it's so much harder for me to get her to sit and watch a movie. So for me, I struggled so much because, again, we ran into that time crunch of this year was so crazy for us. And it was hard for me to be like, hey, do you want to go to the movies? It's 9:45 at night. Like, let's go catch the late movie. We'll get home by 1. Take the dog on a walk. She's got to wake up at 4.
No shot.
It's just, it wasn't going to work. So it's like, all right. So this year I've said I'm going back. I already created a list of all the stuff I want to watch this year.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Got checklists to it.
Shows and movies?
Shows and movies.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's
so
great.
I went through every streaming service.
Yeah.
Hulu, Netflix, all of them, and I just scrolled through my list that I've created. I did everything. I put it on a notes app.
Perfect.
And that's when I told you, I started that list a week ago, finished The Last of Us already.
That's great. You got a nice start there with an excellent show. Excellent show.
Frank was right about that show. Yes. I knew he would be. I never said I wouldn't like it.
This is true.
But
so yeah, our topic for today is it's a duality topic actually. We're gonna do our top 5 favorite movies of last year, 2023, and then we're gonna get into our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. I kind of wish I recalled our lists from our most anticipated of last year.
I actually saw it before on here, so if you keep talking to the great people, I'll see if I can pull it.
So I would like that to like see how we reacted to the movie itself and everything, and if it lived up to our expectations in 2022 of last year. But I guess we could go into our news roundup right now. So the first 2 that I have on the list, you're going to do majority of the talking, so I'll skip those until you're done with that. But I'm going to give my Wonka review real quick. Was it a good movie? Yes, I thought it was well written. The story was good. My concerns with it, which are major concerns, if you saw my Instagram story, it shows that I didn't like it like that much at all, which is true.
You hated it.
Yeah,
you didn't not like it, bro. You did not like. You hated it.
Yeah,
it was a 4.
It was a 4. It was a 4. It didn't deserve a 5. Like
that's not even That's not even close to passing. So yeah, you.
Let me tell you something. Timothy Chalamet, however you say his last name.
Timothée Chalamet.
Something like that. He is a fantastic actor. Love him in Dune. That's actually the only other thing I've seen him in. But I know like how he got his start. It was
Boyhood,
which was apparently amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So he's a very respected actor, and I do like him. I just don't think he's Willy Wonka.
I think it was a bad script because it was another movie.
That's the thing, though.
You liked the script.
The script and the story was good.
See, I poked through it today, and I didn't love it.
I think for me, especially coming off of the Johnny Depp one, directed by Tim Burton, it was too kiddie.
Well, it's definitely
too
the third.
Corny.
That was purposeful. Like
it was purposeful, and that's why I said in my review, I was like, you know what, this just wasn't for me.
If you didn't, but the unfortunate thing is that we as the fans, we're convinced that these movies that come out are made for us, but they're not, and that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah,
because as a Star Wars fan, I'm like, yeah, more Star Wars for me. Like I want it, but then you realize you're like, oh shit, this is made for a 12-year-old, and that's okay. That's not a problem.
No, it's not.
Because again, you have to bring in that old audience, but like we've always talked about, you can't lose your initial audience in the meantime. Do you know what I mean?
Well, absolutely, because think about it, like that initial audience, the younger audience,
bro, my kid's gonna
what's gonna last longer than us.
But
you know what I'm saying?
My kid is gonna, for the record though, my kid's gonna get pumped through with Star Wars stuff.
Oh, dude, my kid is gonna get pumped through Marvel, DC, you know what I'm saying?
DC. Don't waste your kid's
No, I'll
time.
give him DC. I'll show him listen, this is where they fucked up, but look at where this is me promising.
I'm going to call.
This
child
is where we're at now with DC.
Just for you to be aware. If you show your child anything DC related, I will call child services. It's okay, but you can do the same because mine will watch eventually when they're old enough Walking Dead, and that's torture.
Oh,
that is a form of torture in most countries. But
yeah, you know, it was too kiddie, too corny. The music. Man, the music, and it was happening every 10 minutes. I understand Wonka is all about the music and breaking out into song, right? But, like, for instance, the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp one, it was the Oompa Loompas singing it, and it was, I thought they were sick songs. I loved them, right? These songs were torturous
also
to get through.
Again, I did not watch it. I very much just clicked through it.
Yeah.
None of it looked like Wonka to me, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does, but that's purposeful, though, because
where he is or
his factory isn't even
built yet.
It's his origin story.
Yeah, I know. But even that, it's not about like location. It just when I was looking at it, none of it made me feel Willy Wonka. Does that make sense?
No, that does make sense.
When I'm watching it, I was like, okay, where's the colors? Where's the I don't want to say fantasy, but I don't want to I want to also say like
phantasmic.
Phantasmacy.
Right.
Fantasy and phantasmic.
Okay, but I don't think phantasmic is even a word.
Well, go fuck yourself, Frank. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, no, it's definitely not. But we're talking about Willy Wonka here. Anything can be a word.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, some of the last names in that movie
I could only imagine.
Were bonkers.
That was one of those. I told Frank earlier, I did the same thing with Aquaman. I even did Saltburn too because
I heard that movie. A lot of people are liking it. The people I work with watched it. They're saying it's the worst thing they've ever seen. What are your thoughts, please?
Can I ask you a question? Do you work with movie critics?
No.
Okay, so then it's not good. I did not like it. I very much, again, clicked through it because I've heard people tell me they're like, oh, this is a very unique movie. I was like, okay, they're trying to do like a Euphoria kind of a thing with like Dude, I don't know. I like I said, did not.
But you didn't
watch
like it though, as an avid movie watcher.
Didn't watch the movie.
Like it.
I did not watch it, but like I skipped through it, and I was like, no. I did 3 today alone, and I was like, I hated all of these. So it was a very eventful day for me. Saltburn. What'd I say? Saltburn, Aquaman, and Wonka. Yeah, they were all terrible.
You know, the reason why I bring up like the people that I work with that watched it and said they hated it, right? Like I actually take more of their perspective into play rather than people that watch more movies. You know what I'm saying? Because it's because
if they watch one movie and
right,
yeah,
I think it's all about the general audience.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I think, like, for example, Tenet's been getting a lot more, like, attention lately. I don't know if you heard about the news story with Christopher Nolan and the Peloton instructor.
Oh, yeah, I saw the article pop up,
And I'm seeing a lot of people still, listen, I know you don't love that movie.
No.
But that's still a good, like, what I guess irritates me is that some of these people's best movies, where, like, you don't have to like it, but if you were to tell me, I mean, you know, I don't even know what other movie I could, whatever, like, is a generic movie that everybody loves that's very, like, one-sided,
mediocre or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Barbie. I liked Barbie. I did. It's on my list. But if you were to tell me, like, oh my God, like, Tenet, like, Barbie's better than Tenet. Like, for me, I'd be like, no, Tenet's a better put-together movie. Again, you don't understand it as much, right? But
I'll tell you what, as much as I didn't like Tenet,
it's a better movie.
It's a better movie than Barbie.
Yeah.
It is. Well-crafted movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, Tenet was a movie that was meant for, and I don't want to, it sounds so pretentious if I say it like this, but it was meant for people that want to understand it. Just like Inception, just like
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No, I think that's perfectly said.
But if you do look at it, like I know your biggest gripes were like the sound. Like you didn't like that you felt like the sound was off.
Yeah,
You didn't feel as drawn in with the storytelling.
Yes.
But then like for me, I felt that way. Then when I went back the second time after I did a lot of research on it and I understood it more, I went back and watched it, and for me, it was such a better movie. I mean, I liked both times.
Yeah.
But I watched it again. I was like, I love this. Like, this is so cool. The concept.
Yeah.
And it's, again, Nolan is able to do that, just like mind-bending, challenging the norm, doing all that.
Time. Yeah.
So I like those kind of movies that do that to you, right? Like the viewer, like, we listen, bro, we're getting old of, like, again, how many times are you going to make these repetitive same stories,
you're right.
Same whatever, we reconstructed this,
I'll tell you what, dude,
it is.
you brought up the point, which we just brought up before. The general movie-going audience, they're not going to do their research on what that movie meant or what happened online after they saw it. That's my biggest gripe with Tenet. Yeah. That is my biggest gripe with Tenet. It is.
I get that. But it was like, for me, when I didn't understand it, and this is with everything. If I don't understand something in cinema, but that's because we like this.
Yes.
So if someone else leaves the theater, they're just going to be like, I didn't really get it. And that's okay. Like, if that's your preference, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like when people tell me they're movie people or whatever, and then they don't. Not that you have to do the proper research, but like, if you didn't get Tenet, you know Christopher Nolan makes these mind-bending movies. Like,
you got to be prepared.
The cinematography, the stories, they're supposed to be these crazy concepts. Even Oppenheimer, as simple as the atomic bomb, had these just crazy visuals and how it was meant to make you watch it and look and see.
Yeah.
And people are just, I'm good. Like, I went home, I was done. But, like, for Tenet, for me, I was so drawn in. I was like, I loved, like, the concept of it. I didn't get why all of these things were happening. I didn't understand why. How did they get here? How did this happen? And again, it's probably his worst movie, if that's what you want to say. Like, that's okay if that's how people...
We brought this up on the pod before. Done it before. I do think that's not his... I think that's
You think it's his worst?
I think that's... Yeah, but... I don't like how you use worst. Like
you think that's his bottom
It's his
tier
weakest.
movie.
It's his weakest movie.
But the great thing about it is it's probably still a 75.
No, it is. It is absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, we have a different movie viewing experience because me and Frank were the only two people in a theater.
Dude,
like,
that was
that
an
movie
theater
was that was so much fun though because that movie theater was empty.
Yeah, that was the
no
height of COVID.
Remember when
the theaters just opened back up
like a day later.
Yeah,
we tried to
it
remember
was.
we tried to get
Yeah.
Joe to come, and Joe was like, "No, I'm good. Like I don't want to go.
Yeah,
All right, Joe.
yeah.
Like we're trying to get him to come. We're like, hey, come with us to go see a
Yeah,
movie.
nah, no shot he was going.
No,
Yeah,
didn't even think about it. But yeah, but that's my gripe with that. But I know what you mean. Like I think
Yeah.
the we always nail in the coffin. We tell people it's like, look. You can like whatever you like. Again, my wife loves Bravo. Do I love it? No. But do I like watching it because it's nonsense most of the time? Yeah, I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's stupid TV, but you should like stupid TV if it makes you feel like some people like Guy Fieri. Some people love Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah,
You know, British Bake Off. Whatever it is. But you have to respect, like, you can't just be like, I didn't like a movie because I didn't get it. If you didn't get it, that should want to drive you to understand why you didn't get it. That's my opinion.
I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
that's more than an opinion, to be honest with you. Because you're not giving it more of a chance
'Cause would
than,
you-
than you should
If
be.
you were in fucking
know?
school and you didn't
Like-
get a chapter, you don't just be like, I bet.
No, you
I'm
raise
done,
your
I'm
hand
not
to ask a
taking- I'm not
question,
taking the
or
rest of
you're
the test.
rereading that chapter.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't
that's-
understand how to say this in Spanish. I'm just going to skip over the word the.
Right. Right.
You're
right,
never
yeah.
you're never going to be able to complete a sentence, you know? And
Yeah.
again, it's you're comparing tomatoes and potatoes here.
Right,
but
right.
in general, it's just like we're different because it's like if you don't understand, I'm an Easter egg, I'm a movie, I'm a deep cut, I want to know all these things. But if there's something I don't get and I liked the concept, I was watching breakdown videos of Game of Thrones every fucking day. I was Andor.
Dude, yeah.
Everything. The next day it came out, I woke up at 7 o'clock to commute, 6 o'clock to commute into the city.
Yeah.
I was watching a recap video every day on my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
And that was helping me, though.
Probably that
enjoy
Monday
it
morning
more.
when Game
Dude,
of Thrones would premiere on Sunday
Monday
nights.
at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Any
I'm
show
sure.
it was, the next day I'm watching it on the way into work. The whole breakdown. What did you miss? What are the Easter eggs?
Yeah.
What was this deep cuts for? And again, some of them you could sit there and be like, oh, I caught that. I got
Yes.
that. And that's cool and that feels great.
Yeah,
And
it
some
does
of
feel
you're like,
great. It
holy
does.
shit, how'd I not see that? Or,
Yeah.
oh my God, they predicted this, or whatever it might be. But that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. If you want to buy into something, you gotta buy in. You don't have to
Absolutely.
go as crazy as we do.
No,
but
no. Just
don't
just get a
don't
grasp
just give
of it.
up on something.
Yeah,
Like, you can't
I
tell me
agree.
Tiger King's better than Tenet and try to have an actual conversation.
That
with
would
me.
be
It's-
a hot take
yeah,
right there.
yeah, it would be.
It would be, yeah.
I do have the original
Oh,
my
you do?
list.
Okay, I wouldn't. I mean, I think most of what's on my favorites of this past year was on.
Well, I wanna go over what I wrote.
yeah.
So I'm not excited for.
Oh,
Can you guess
okay.
what it was? One movie.
Well, you weren't excited. One movie of this past year that.
Yep, and it's actually funny because it's one of the movies you actually somewhat enjoyed, I think,
Okay.
from a genre or a title that I despise.
A title that you
Like
despise.
a category, like maybe a
horror.
a company of superheroes. That's
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so DC, The Flash.
Yep.
It was The Flash. Yeah.
That was my least excited for movie,
Yeah.
and then on my intrigued was Aquaman.
Okay.
Also Wonka, Little
Yeah.
Mermaid, Mario Brothers, John Wick, Indiana Jones, Creed 3, and Barbie. Those were my intrigued list.
Is
like
that
movies I
your
was-
wait?
Movies
so,
I was interested in hearing about, but
that's
was
not
not
your
my top
official-
5.
okay, gotcha,
My
gotcha.
official top 5 was
Yeah.
and now this, oh god, really hurts me to say, but my number 6, just missing the cut, was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I
My
actually
number-
remember that because
Yep.
I was like,
My number
dude, how's
5
that
was
not on your list?
Quantumanium, which I listen.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about it, I still enjoyed it.
I
don't give a
enjoyed it
fuck.
too.
Guardians was my 4, Killers was my 3, Oppenheimer was my 2, and Dune was my 1. Haha, funny.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dune.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
Dune doesn't even count on the list, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
It
It does look very good.
It looks like
It
it's
does.
gonna be so fucking good. And
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. But that was the top 5 of that.
Okay. I wish I definitely had Oppenheimer and Barbie on there. I
didn't
definitely
have Killers.
had. I didn't have
You had
Killers. I did
Mario.
have Guardians and Mario.
Mario.
So is that 4 or 5? That's 4. What was the other one that I had on there? I basically recalled that.
You probably had
most of it.
You don't think
know
you had
what-
Flash?
No, definitely not.
You don't think you
No.
had
No DC
Aquaman?
movie.
You
No
sure?
DC movie.
Maybe
I'm telling you.
Quantumanium? Did you say
No,
that, man?
no.
Guardians, you said?
I said Guardians. Yeah. I don't know what.
Maybe
I don't
was
know.
it an anime or something, maybe?
Oh, it had to have been Across the Spider-Verse. It had to have been. No, it was.
No,
That
yeah,
might have been
no,
my
that
number
was- I
one,
wouldn't-
actually.
It would almost guarantee
That
it
was
your
probably
number
my
one.
number one.
It was almost guaranteeably your number
Yeah.
one.
All right, so real quick, we're going to do these last three things on the news roundup. I'm going to give a quick review of Echo, which I totally binged today on my day off. So it's only 5 episodes. Cool. 44 minutes each. Awesome.
44 minutes?
Like, basically. 44 minutes to an hour.
That's
yeah.
good, though.
It is good.
That's a good episode length.
Yeah.
You'd expect them to be shorter.
Yeah, that's typical for Disney Plus, yeah. So, this is the very first TVMA thing they did. They promoted it heavy that it was TVMA. Didn't need to be TVMA. This was a PG-13 thing, man. They really did nothing to show you that
it was TVMA.
Yeah.
Well, it probably just had to be because it's Disney. Because think about it, every other distribution company is probably TVMA, but Disney has to kind of go a tier down because of their audience, if that makes sense.
It isn't up to Disney, though, as far as the ratings. That's a whole nother company that rates every movie but I feel like Disney was probably like... Yeah, they probably did some tweaking around.
I need you guys to make this TVMA so people think it's crazy.
I mean, I could believe it. They got the power to do it. Yeah,
I mean, if anyone's going to do it...
It's Disney.
Yeah.
I thought this... And let me... some back reference, like, Echo was introduced in the Hawkeye show. I thought she had a terrible introduction. She was the least interesting character in that mini-series. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like her. And then they announced an Echo show was coming. I'm like, what the... are they just making stuff just to make stuff? Whatever.
Which they are, but...
that was, a major key where I was like, what's going on? So the show comes out. I watched all 5 episodes today. I did like it.
Good.
I did like
good.
it. I'm starting to lean more towards the more grounded
shows for Marvel.
Grounded shows for Marvel.
Well, they need it. They
more
need to
realistic and more serious.
They need to step back from what they just did with this multiverse, and now it's a multi-mess.
Yeah, multi-mess. I like that. That's good.
Which is super unfortunate because I did really... Obviously, we do not condone anything that happened with Jonathan Majors, but unfortunately, I was really rooting for him in the sense that I really liked him as Kang.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was going to kill it, and in Loki, which was...
Loved it.
I mean, bro...
What a phenomenal ending.
It's insane to think that Loki...
A great character
Loki will be
series.
in my top 10. Both seasons will end up in my top 10 Marvel stuff of all time.
We got to do a Marvel list of just the Disney Plus shows, I think.
That'll be good.
I think we should do that.
WandaVision is so good, too.
But you want to know what? WandaVision, from the very beginning, was always my number one favorite one. But then Loki season 2 came out, and I think it knocked WandaVision off.
I think Loki, WandaVision, Loki won. That's mine.
I put the Loki series all together. So in that case, it would be Loki season 2, then WandaVision, then probably Loki season 1 and whatever.
And then I think probably Hawkeye maybe, and then
Hawkeye would be up there. So would Moon Knight a little bit.
Oh, actually,
I think they went a little off the rails with
Moon Knight. I liked Moon Knight a lot. I thought Moon Knight was good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Oscar Isaac's the right guy for it, but
no, that I didn't have any problem.
But it'll be
with
interesting to see where they go with that one.
Well, dude, speaking of the whole TVMA thing, there's rumors about, that they want to work on a Moon Knight season 2, especially with this spoiler alert, third personality of his coming out. Mm-hmm. TVMA is the way to go, my man.
100%.
I agree. Yeah.
I forgot I have a piece of news story too for you.
What's that?
Ahsoka season 2.
Well, that was also on my list, yeah.
I'm reading his mind!
I have an even better piece of Star Wars movie news for you, which you probably already know.
I don't like Star Wars, so what is it?
You don't know?
Yeah.
Dude, am I going to break this to you right now? All right. Jon Favreau directing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Wow. So it's season 4.
In a movie form.
Or 5, whatever one I'm missing up, is going to be in a movie form instead of a TV series.
That's seeming to be the route they're going. Yeah. I'm all for it. All for it.
Jon Favreau, you can do no wrong by
I agree.
And I hope I don't bite my... I don't hope I don't...
No, he'll do a good job with it. He'll do a good job with it.
I'm not...
As far as the Rey movie, some comments that the director's been making,
I will,
yeah. I don't know.
So I'm very on the fence with it now because a couple creators that I watch that are very Star Wars invested have been commenting on it and saying that if you watch the full interview, it's a little bit taken out of context.
Oh, okay, I could see that.
So it's more that she likes making men feel uncomfortable, not in the sense of her directing a Star Wars movie and where she's doing it, but she's just saying that she likes that in general. Like, being a woman female director makes men feel uncomfortable, which I understand, right? Men control that market.
I get, yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think if you're good at your craft, you should be able to. And again,
I don't think you should care.
I agree.
I don't even think you should.
I think this was in a couple year ago agenda that I think it would have been very prevalent then, like being that.
Sure.
If your body of work is good enough, then your body of work is good enough. And again, that's coming from a man, so I will not ever.
Luke, listen, and man or woman, I think I think we could both agree with this, that you don't need to say some shit like that. Just prove it with your work.
I definitely
agree.
That. Again, look, I think I agree. I think it's tough to make that.
It pushed a lot of people away from this Rey movie almost immediately when she said that, right?
Of course. But again, like I said, I didn't even watch the full interview.
Me neither.
So I don't know
I just saw the clip. I don't know the context either. You're right.
I saw it, and I was like, yep, I'm out. I get that. But if it's taken out of context like they're saying it is, then okay, great. Like, I'll wait. Listen, I'm going to wait until it anyway because I'm going to go see it. It doesn't matter.
I'm probably most definitely going to see the Rey movie
If I'm miserable watching it, at least I know for me, like, I'm falling back on another season of Andor. I'm falling back on another season of Ahsoka. I'm falling back on another Favreau. I'm falling on the Mando movie. Like, those are fine for me, and they're good, and they're content I like, and I'm okay with it. If it doesn't work out, it's from my least favorite chapter of the Star Wars saga, so I'm not really too mad. Yeah. But I agree with you. Like, look, I don't think it should matter, but it's also a man saying that. Who knows what adversity she has faced as a woman in her career. So I will give her that side of the coin of, like, look, if men have bossed you around and been in charge of you your whole time as a director,
I get you can say that.
Then you say whatever you'd like. But if it's based on
But you got to explain that, though.
But, like, for the record of for example, a strong female character in Star Wars has already been Princess Leia, who Carrie Fisher's career was, I don't want to say created off that movie, but she was an amazing female character in that show. Padme was an amazing female character in that show.
There are plenty.
The cartoons had Ahsoka, who was an amazing female character in the show.
You have plenty of powerful female characters in Star Wars.
I think you need to stop beating the dead horse with that kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
But again, if you feel that you've been hurt a certain way as a director, then okay, yeah, sure. Like, I understand where you're trying to come from with it, but with all the adversity that Star Wars and Star Wars fans have had, and we're the most toxic fan base ever, so it's tough, right?
I agree.
It's impossible for me to, like, sit there and ever be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
So for that, I would have hoped that she could have just held it together for a couple more minutes. And
I agree with you, because in reality, that's what's been,
because it's spiraling now, and it's becoming such a nightmare of they can't just fix it. And again, the person at the crux of this is Kathleen Kennedy. Like,
you want to know my other concern with this director for the Rey movie? Look at her IMDb. When you go home, look at her IMDb.
It's nothing great.
Only 2 other projects.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 movie and a mini series. No.
I thought she was Miss Marvel.
No, I don't think she did.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Marvels?
No, nothing Marvel related.
Really?
I think it was 2 obscure other projects on her IMDb.
Oh, I thought she had some kind of...
Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't know. I don't even know her name, so that's showing how much I know, but, like... Yeah, I just saw that online.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, look, I hope I'm eating my words in a year or 2 years from it, whatever it is.
I want Star Wars to succeed.
Like, nothing would be better, in my opinion, than you watch a whole Rey movie, and the end of it, you just see Mando and fucking Baby Yoda just chilling on a deserted island, both old, just chilling, hanging out.
Well, think about it, though. Like, Grogu he's going to have to die eventually.
Shut the fuck up. Go to the next topic. You're a monster. You're a monster.
No, listen. Let's.
No, of course.
The fact.
No, but
he has to.
I don't know if it's gonna be soon though.
I'm not saying it's going to be soon.
No, but that's what
but
I'm
he
saying.
has to before.
I think it'll be a similar.
He has to before the prequels. He has to.
Before what prequels?
The original prequels.
No, that's
Episode 1, 2, and 3.
Flipping.
Or is that? Oh wait,
mixed
yeah. No, you're right.
Yoda
it has to be before that.
Well,
it has
no.
to.
So he is alive at the end of 9 because they're in between 6 and 7. Well, he might be alive in 9.
Whoa, Mando takes place, but in between the new saga.
No, in between 6, which is Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
And 7, which is New Hope. Not a New Hope. What is it? Fucking Force Awakens.
I don't think he is, because I think he would have had to have played a major.
No, well, so what I'm saying
Luke
is
knows
episode,
him.
No, I know that, but I'm saying episode
Ahsoka
7...
knows him.
Yes, but in episode 7...
Yeah.
Or eventually, when Ben Solo, who was Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
gets forced to the dark side, it's
Yeah.
because he was in the Jedi Academy and he wipes everyone out at
Right,
the Academy.
right.
But when Luke is trying in the book... in Mando, when Luke is trying to recruit him to be the first Padawan, he turns it down when they're training, and then he goes to live with Mando. Yoda's species also is a species that lives for tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, right.
So, not going to die naturally. And
No.
if he's not at the Jedi Temple and Luke goes into exile and Grogu has no communication with him and Ahsoka has no occasion, right? Because Ahsoka
Right.
and Grogu both don't have a affiliation.
They don't,
with-
and because Luke went into exile,
Exactly.
okay, that connects some.
So again, there's a good
I
chance
agree
that
with
he
that.
is dead.
Yeah.
But if you do want to make this alternate story, you can build Mando up to talk about everything that's going on in the middle of that saga, lead up into 7, still keep him alive, and then when you make the Rey movie, you can bring him into the mix of, okay, well, this guy that is a Jedi and this guy that's got powers and uses them when he wants but doesn't train in the Jedi form and hangs around with a bounty hunter who is also being taught to be a Jedi, right? Whatever the fuck, because he's held the Darksaber, so they're going to probably make him somewhat Force sensitive or some shit. But you can eventually try to tie them into that Rey movie and make it okay, cool. Because the stereotypical Jedi temple of what it is, I would almost be excited to see if they'd ever get off of it and make it okay, cool, now Rey is teaching people, but there's also Jedi all scattered all over of some people that don't practice it in a temple and have to live all together. They're that's my 9-to-5 job, almost like the Justice League. Or does that make sense? You know what I mean?
That does make sense.
Grogu is Force sensitive, and he's never going to report to the Jedi Temple to clock
almost
in.
like a Jedi
Exactly.
vigilante, almost
So,
in a sense.
yeah, sure,
He's not answering to anyone.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of directions that it can go. I'm excited to see kind of where they're going to go with it and what they want to tie in with everything.
I hope it's not a part of the Rey. I would like to see Mando and Ahsoka and. I mean, I guess it wouldn't fit with Andor, but
I think Ahsoka is more now because Andor is
it happens
pre-4.
Yeah, right.
Ahsoka's Andor is the one you're mixing is in between 3 and 4.
So Mando, Ahsoka, Boba Fett universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a better case for Ahsoka to die.
I could see that. Yeah, because why wasn't she involved in episodes 7, 8, and 9?
Not only that, if Ben Solo, who is obsessed with Anakin Skywalker as much as he is, who's his grandfather,
he would have went after her.
He would have went after his.
I agree with
her
that.
Padawan,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
would be a great comic.
Yeah, I agree.
Disney, I'm open. Agree. My Venmo is my name - my name. So hit me up whenever you want.
All right, we're going to get into our 2 subtopics here. We're first going to get into our top 5 favorite movies of 2023. You know what? Actually, I think before we get into that, we're going to start our new segment, which I did not tell you about.
Surprise!
I got this Christmas gift. It's called Movie Geek, the Ultimate Quiz Game by Printworks. And it basically goes, the rules are very simple. Just drag an illustrated card out and show it to your opponent, who needs to figure out 2 things: the name of the actress or actor, and the title of the film that she or he stars in. Okay. So there's actually a couple questions each card. I'm going to write down the points. And my idea with all this we're going to draw a card each to show each other.
Okay.
Every episode we're on together throughout the year. And then we're going to total up our points at the end of the year.
Gotcha.
And see who's the ultimate winner.
Okay.
You like it?
I love it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll work it on. Would you like to go? Would you want to show me a card first? Or do you want me to show you a card first? Go ahead.
I'll show you a card first.
All righty. The questions are in the back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So what's the first question on it?
What is the title of the film?
Legally Blonde?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. All right. Okay.
What's the name of the actress in the picture?
I think Paris Hilton.
No.
No? Fuck.
Oh, man.
All right, wait. I got...
You want me to tell you?
No, wait. That was 1 point that I got
yeah,
right,
you're
right?
at
Okay.
1 point.
All right, okay.
It was 1 point for the name of the actress. Her name is Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the main reason for Reese Witherspoon's character to go to Harvard?
I didn't watch this movie.
That's fucked up because it's a great movie. It's because her boyfriend broke up with her and she wants to claim that she was not ambitious about political. She was not serious enough about her political ambitions or his political ambitions.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
she wanted to prove that she could get into Harvard.
Okay.
What is the one thing that always makes Reese Witherspoon's character feel better?
I mean, this is going to be a stretch because I haven't seen it. I would say a nice toke of marijuana.
No, shopping. That's the answer.
Fuck, that's even more simpler. Okay, all right. All right, I got 1 point there.
Right.
Are you ready, Luke? Here
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right.
No, go further down. Go in the middle. Pull in the middle.
Pull in the middle?
Pull in the middle.
All righty. Go right here. Here we go. Shout out to my...
It's going to end up being the one that I don't know anything about here. Right here.
Oh,
this one.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Oh, let's fucking go!
Oh! All right, so the essentials. Number one,
okay.
for 1 point, what is the title of the film?
The Revenant.
Correct, okay.
Yep.
1 point there.
Cool.
All right, number two, what is the name of the actor in this picture?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Very good. 1 point for that as well. All right, hardcore trivia.
Okay.
This is fucking softballs. Okay, why is DiCaprio's character badly wounded for the majority of the film?
He gets attacked by a bear.
Correct. Okay, that's 2 points right there. You got a total of 4. Next, for 3 points.
I knew it was the middle of the deck, baby. Let's go.
During filming, the crew needed to change location from Canada to another country due to lack of snow. Mm-hmm. Which country?
They switched from Canada and they went to... Greenland.
Negative. So that was Argentina.
What?
Argentina they went to, yes.
Wow, I didn't think Argentina would have been...
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember when Leo said on award shows, it was like, listen, this warming shit's real, man.
I'm in Argentina right now.
God damn.
I'm in Argentina filming a snow movie.
Yeah,
you don't think this is real?
All right, so I think that's going to be the trend, the new segment of the show and everything like that. We'll do this across... No, what are you doing, cheating? Can't be doing that. All right.
Take it out.
Anyway, right now, Luke's in the lead, 4-1. We'll do this throughout the year. We will find out the winner at the end of 2024. Alrighty.
Frank's going to study these.
No, I'm not even touching this. This is staying down here. I just opened it up right before you got here. Yeah, throw it in the drawer right there.
Where's my gun?
I think it's a drawer above. Is it? Is it still there? Good.
Joe, this one's for you if you're watching the show.
Don't. Alrighty, now we can get into our two topics here. Our top 5 favorite movies of 2023. I'll start with my number 5 and 4. My number 5 is a horror movie. Last year I watched a good amount of horror movies, but not from that premiered last year, but just whenever. But this one did come out last year. It's Evil Dead Rise. I saw it in theaters.
Number 5.
My number 5, yeah.
God.
I'm not that big of a horror fan. I do enjoy it, but not the biggest horror fan.
I was going to say, I didn't think you were like a huge horror
I kind of tried to like diverse the list a little bit of a whole bunch of different genres, like in a sense of like what my favorite was of each genre. So Evil Dead Rises up there. I thought it had scary moments. It had gruesome moments.
Yeah.
Evil Dead is a franchise, and what's funny is this is the only Evil Dead movie I saw. And the other ones, like especially the first one, are like cult classics.
Yeah, and
Cult
this is the only
classics.
one you've seen.
Yeah. And it's completely different from
the
originals.
Yeah, of course it is.
But it was very good.
Good.
I really enjoyed it, so
Good.
that was my number 5.
Cool.
My number 4 of 2023 is Air.
Cool.
I also saw that all these I saw in theaters. Air, phenomenal movie. I love, and I was so swamped up in the whole superhero genre and everything to the point where like that's all I was seeing in theaters.
Everything, yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, I need to start watching something more different, more realistic,
definitely.
more factual, right? So Air was a great example.
Good, yeah.
Matt Damon did it fantastic in it. I think Ben Affleck either produced or directed it or written it, whatever the case may be. He did a phenomenal job with whatever he did. He also acted in it too.
He was Phil Knight, who's the creator of Nike.
Phil Knight. Wait, what?
Phil Knight is the creator of Nike.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
He was Phil Knight in the movie.
Oh, yes.
That's
I
who
thought
he
you said
was,
the actual Phil Knight was associated with like the movie and the writing or whatever.
There's rumors that they like got it right with their like set production and stuff like that, and then like casting and and
I'm sure he was involved in
everything.
That sense,
so it was probably. He did say, I forgot he said there was a couple things that he was like factually inaccurate or whatever, but
it's a movie though.
Yeah,
you gotta
kind of.
No, it was great. It was all funny. It was serious, and the motivation behind Matt Damon's character, who brought up the idea of going to Jordan and everything, was fantastic. And I was always curious about it, how that partnership.
I always knew the story, so it was good for me. Like again, I'm a huge sneaker guy, so for me, it was huge for me to like actually watch it and it be a good movie.
Yeah,
I've watched sneaker documentaries and I've seen a whole bunch of stuff, but I've never seen like an actual biopic almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
in the way that it was, where it was also something that was up my alley of like, oh my god, I love this. You know, so it was really, I really enjoyed that too. So
I appreciated it a lot. That was a movie that I saw in theaters with I saw it with my my grandpa and Jesse, and we all really enjoyed it. I was actually pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's my my number 5 and number 4 of 2023.
So my number 5, which is kind of a tie, because again, I can't make a list without a tie, is Ant-Man, which again did not do as well as we expected. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but at the same time, I understand why people didn't love it, so be it. I still enjoyed it. I thought Kang could have really been good for the Marvel Universe. I still think there's a chance that he can be. We were texting about it, like, I would really love if they do recast someone. I would really love for them to find a way. And again, you can do it in a shot without showing Jonathan Major's face. But like, have this Kang, this one variant Kang, come up, slit the main Kang's throat or whatever, drop a bot, do something to just make this one Kang's mission of all this time that we haven't seen Kang, destroying all the other Kangs.
If you think about it though, like, they could end it. That version of Kang, they could end it with how it ended in Quantumania.
Quantumania. They can say, there's variants popping up all over, and that's it. Yeah.
But
and then they can recast him and bring someone else into the fold.
Yeah.
But for me, I would much rather it be not like, oh, we killed him off. Like, show me.
Right.
You went to the Stadium of Kangs, hold a meeting, blow up the whole place.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of like a jumping the shark, getting rid of them all. But I would almost love if you just saw like an adapting, James Wan. No. Why? Oh my God!
Explosions? Are you talking explosions?
No, from Tenet. John David Washington.
Yeah.
John David Washington recast as Kang. I would almost love if I just saw him like locking all the doors on the inside of the Kang Coliseum and just blowing the place to smithereens.
Or I think they could even go the route with the TVA infiltrates it.
Yeah,
because that's their main purpose.
The TVA
now,
just
the TVA.
wiped them all out.
They're just wiping out Kang variants.
And it could be great because you could say they never picked that Kang up on the radar because he was different from all the Kangs.
The one in Quantumania?
No, like I'm saying John David Washington's
Kang. Oh, yes.
You could make him the one Kang unreadable on detection because he is a variant of a variant, if that makes sense.
No,
like
it could make sense, and I do like that idea.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But that was tied with Barbie for me. Barbie, again, was not... I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I think it got way too, like... I think the movie had parts where you could have been like, okay, I get it. And then also, I think people were like doing, like, I'm boycotting the movie. It's like, dude, just
way too serious about it.
Just go to the fucking movie and watch it, or don't. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. Margot Robbie's an absolute smoke.
Yeah.
She's an amazing actress. Ryan Gosling's an amazing actor.
He was the best part of that movie,
guess what?
in my opinion.
Don't matter. I had fun with it. And also, again, like I said, my wife is not huge on movies. She'll occasionally watch them, but she loved it. So do I love it? Yep. I had a good time in the theater with her. She enjoyed it. She had a fun time with it. I actually, like I said, I laughed a good amount. I thought there were a couple parts in there I was like, all right, cool, this is funny. Like, again, was it fucking piss my pants, the funniest thing I've ever watched? No. Nah. Some of it I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm ready for them to go back into dialogue.
Yeah.
But I also, some of it was like pulling at your heartstrings. I get it, like the pains of growing up, right?
Sure.
Because for me, it wasn't Barbies, but it was like G.I. Joes and action figures and Legos. Like I felt that when I got past that point. Like now I come across them at my house and like, do I get like sentimental and emotional sometimes? Yeah,
absolutely.
You're sitting there and you're like, damn, like. This was just such a part of my life. Like I created. Like you ever see the memes where it's like girls just think I'm playing with dolls and it's the lore and it's the men playing.
Yeah,
it's like the scene from like whatever.
Dude, when you're playing with action figures, you're creating a scene in your head of like what's going on and everything.
My whole childhood.
Yeah.
Like I got
Me
fucking
too,
chapters of books, dude.
Right.
But yeah, so I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was as bad as people thought. And my number 4 was Air as well. Again, I'm a huge...
Was what? Oh, Air. It was Air.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so again, I'm a huge Nike guy. I'm a huge sneaker guy. I'm a huge everything with that. Again, I became an Oregon Ducks fan when I was 10 years old because I loved Nike. I loved sneakers. I loved that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then when I found out that Nike was created at the campus of Oregon and by the coach of the Oregon track team, Bill Bowerman, and who was the coach, Phil Knight, who was one of the runners, and the whole story of Oneonta Tiger Company, which is prior to the Air movie, all of these things, I've known about all this. I became so invested. My bachelor party was in fucking Portland.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I went to the Nike campus for my bachelor party.
Yeah.
So for me to watch the movie and then go there, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was crazy. The campus was wild. So to watch Air, where they're in cubicles with just brown everywhere and ties and suits, and then go to this state-of-the-art facility that is Nike and see all the employees and see
how
all
it
the
evolved.
people. Dude.
Because of
Michael Jordan, because of that deal, because of a lot of people, but Michael Jordan is the crux of it. And we went into the Jordan wing, and we went into the campus store, and we went into where Tiger is no longer with Nike.
Yeah, just recently,
past couple days. But we went to the Tigers, dude. It just amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So really, really cool, and that was why for me, Air was as high as it was on my list. So Air was my number 4.
Alrighty. My number 3. This was on my list for my most anticipated last year, or 2 years ago. The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yep. We got identical lists today.
Dude, I'll tell you. Oh, yours is number 3 too?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, dude. I thought they nailed it. I thought they nailed it. It didn't have to, like, the story didn't have to be anything too
Didn't think it was too
perfect or anything, right? Like, they had to be true to its video game nature.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did. Like, I honestly have no complaints with the movie whatsoever.
No, and
I knew what I was going into.
Yeah, well,
that was it.
I thought it was going to be more kiddie. And it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
That's why I liked it so much. Again, an amazing voice actor cast.
Yeah.
That was the movie, even over Barbie. I saw that movie with my wife as well.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Oh, yeah?
Loved it. She talked about it for days afterwards.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, we just saw Barbie and you didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
Like, you were so excited for this movie and you've not stopped about Mario Brothers. Like, loves it. So I'm on the same wavelength. Like, I saw it and I was like, I loved every part of it. Is it still like a 70, 80? Yeah. But, like, it was great. I had such a good time.
But that's what I'm saying. You knew what you were getting into. You know, it couldn't have been, like, the script, you knew it was like... Well, this isn't going to be phenomenal.
But it was good.
It was phenomenal in the sense that it was true to the video game's nature. And that's what everybody wanted.
We also thought it was going to be bad because of Chris Pratt. And to give him his flowers, he did fine.
I'll tell you what. I think he did more than fine.
I agree.
I think he did.
I think he killed it.
I think he
everybody killed it. Charlie Day
killed it.
Was
Jack
amazing.
Black killed it.
Your girlfriend Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor killed it.
That's Frank's. That's
my Hollywood crush right there.
That's his 1-1.
Yeah.
That's his 1-1. In case you're listening.
And I'll tell you what. I thought Seth Rogen was a pretty cliche choice for Donkey Kong, but I liked him too.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I
thought it fit well because I thought they were gonna do a Donkey Kong that was like, I'm Donkey Kong, right? But they made it like I'm a jock. I'm a dumb jock,
and it
Donkey
worked.
Kong, which
it worked
perfect.
great.
Yeah,
the music, how they made the music of the video game more cinematic and everything, fantastic. It really did get me to my feels of once again
of a kid
being a child.
That was it.
So like 2023 had this theme of just go like. This
nostalgia.
is a nostalgia, like Barbie, Super Mario. You know what I mean? And they were they were both the top grossing movies
earners
of last year. Yeah. My number 2 is, and this was actually hard, my 2 and 1, but I did have to put this as my number 2. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Phenomenal movie.
Then I know you're one.
Yeah, I thought you would have known it before I even said the list, but
I figured it was there.
Yeah,
I did think it might be in the 3-1 range. Just in case, because your number 2 could have been your 1 very easily.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it was my most anticipated from the last podcast we did on this, but. So this is the only review that I had on Instagram that I kind of regretted the score I gave it, because I originally said in my score that I still thought the first one was better.
And then when we talked about it last, though, you went back on it.
And I actually rewatched it again
and you
the other night.
With that. Yep.
And it's like kind of way better. No, I think it's way better than the second, than the first one. Yeah, because it's a more in-depth story. It really is. Like the first one went more of the comical route.
Okay,
which is fine. It was still a fantastic movie.
I think the first one's a 92.
So the second one a 95, the first one. Yeah, I'm not trying to down the first one in any way. They're both fantastic.
I agree with you. Yeah,
but the second one, I think is better. Better.
No, I stand with that.
Plot twist at the end, the cliffhanger, fantastic.
Plot twist at the end.
You know, the animation I think got even better somehow than the first one.
Definitely did. Villain was good,
dude. The Spot man, dude,
awesome.
The Spot, they made him such a joke in the beginning of the movie, and then you're like,
holy shit!
Oh shit! Like
this is actually a thing.
No, they did a fantastic job drawing out the whole story, and you know it makes me excited for the finale. It makes me excited for the finale that the directors have been putting a lot of hype into that it's going to be a perfect conclusion and everything. And I'm going to give a little spoiler alert for my next list.
Okay.
It's not on my next list.
Is it in that year?
I am so 100% sure it's going to get delayed till 2025.
Yeah.
That I didn't put it on my...
That's what I thought. I think it was
because of the writer's strike, because of how much work they got to do with the movie.
They haven't even started filming for example, they haven't even started filming for fucking
New Girl guy.
Stranger Things.
No, they started filming the other day.
But
it just started. Right.
When did it end? It ended a year ago.
I know.
They just
more than a year ago.
Yeah. That means they have to film it and then put it together.
Yeah. I don't think that's coming out this year.
That's going to be 25.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll probably be either end of the year or October of 25. Or unless they decided to pull some shit and either make it the end of the year 24, like October 31st.
That's their best case scenario, end of year 2024.
Were they doing the newest season of that show? Were they doing it week by week? I don't remember. Netflix never does that, but were they doing
the only thing they did different with releasing season 4 is that they released episode... Let's say there was 10 episodes.
The first chunk of them, 5 and then 5, right? Or 4?
No, they did... no, that was you. They did 5 and 5.
Yes, I never watched the second part of it.
The fourth... Oh, you didn't?
I watched
that's right. I remember
first part, and I liked it, and then the second part, I just...
Yeah, they pulled it off all right.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things, they did say it was 10 episodes. They did episode 1 through 8 all together. They released that all at once. And then the last 2 episodes, they released at 2 separate occasions.
Week by week, yeah.
And they were both an hour long, or more than an hour long.
Dude, if I'm them, I would really do every one as a separate week. I think your viewership would be bonkers.
I agree, and I think you would really draw out,
Bro, you could do such a good job. You could do such...
I agree.
If you do it week by week, imagine the viewership you'll get in a week's time.
Yeah.
Because you can amplify what they're doing, but everyone's binge watchers. If you put it as all right, we're putting episode 1 out until Thursday, you can go and say, all these people watched episode 1.
Yeah, right.
And then if you watch episode 1, 2, and 3, and they're like, oh my god, nobody's watching because everyone's waiting for it to come out, then you can just say, fuck it, and release 7 more episodes, and then say the last 2 are going to be like that. But I doubt their viewership
No, I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. Because I thought season 4 is the best season out of all of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it was
the most well-written and best put together.
Yeah, I thought so for sure. And the last thing, and I brought this up on the pod before too, especially with all the streaming services, the week-by-week basis, especially if it's a good show, the best strategy ever, because you have people that will subscribe for the month on, say, Netflix, binge watch the show in a day, and then cancel their subscription the next day, and that's it. You're Netflix isn't getting any more revenue from that person. But if you release it week by week and you go over a month in releasing these episodes, hey, at least you got an extra month of more money. So that's that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's always something.
Do you want to do number 2 and then we'll do 1 on 1?
Yeah, I will do mine. So my 3 was obviously Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah.
My 2 was Guardians.
Yeah, I wanted to put it on my list, but I didn't. Yeah.
I think so. And you'll understand why, because my number 1 is something on here, and then there's 2 things that I have yet to finish.
Okay.
So, my number 2 is Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Again, loved it, thought it was amazing.
We really did.
I just gave away my number 1. That was my number 1.
Oh, Spider-Verse.
Because Guardians is my 3. So Spider-Verse is my 1.
Okay. Whatever.
Guardians 3 is my 2.
Yeah.
And Spider-Verse is my 1. God,
you see, I don't even think Spider-Verse was on your top 5 most anticipated of last year, right?
It was honorable mention.
It was an honorable mention.
It was tied for 5.
Yeah, okay.
Because it was tied for 5 with whatever one I had.
Gotcha. Right.
I thought it was going to be good, but I thought 1 was so good, I was like, you can't.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and do my 1s, and then you can just toss it back to your 1s. Guardians I liked. I thought it was a good conclusion to it. I thought it was a good enough way to end it. Do I think there were some missed opportunities with it? Yes. Mm-hmm. Because I think there was just a lot going on with that whole saga, and I think everyone was kind of ready for it to be done, where I do think you could have made 8 more movies and it would have been fine.
I agree with that,
with that same cast, because you could have still introduced people, and people could have come and went, and it would have been fine, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, my tied for number 1s are Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. Because those were my 2 on my list.
Yeah.
That were my 1 and my 2. But I have yet to finish both of them. So I've watched both most of the way through, but the issue is I'll watch Oppenheimer for an hour and a half and then I gotta go walk my dog and I gotta do whatever, and then I'm pausing it and then I'm going back and I'm eating and then I'm not content. So they're both fantastic up to what I've watched. They're both amazing movies.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just in that point of where I'm like, okay, cool, I can't even
I think you gotta finish both of them pretty soon.
Because believe me, I'll
tell you what, I do have a gripe with people that pause
what
movies.
I do. Yeah, and I have a gripe with people that pause movies.
Yeah,
I hate it.
You gotta just watch that
bro,
shit,
believe me, I hate it. But my life is just where I'm at right now in my
No,
chaos.
I get it.
I can't.
I get it.
But the only benefit is that both of them are so fucking long.
Well, yeah. I think
I
think Killers
do
of the
it.
Flower Moon is
fucking
a
4
bit
hours.
longer than Oppenheimer.
It is a bit longer.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm
Oppenheimer
saying.
is long.
But that's what I'm saying. I can get away with if it's any movies. If it was an hour and 30-minute movie, I'd be like, you can roast me.
Right,
But since
right,
these
right.
movies, I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
No, yeah,
and
I
not
get
only
it,
that,
I get it.
I'm taking them in by the pieces that I want them to be. So
Yeah,
I'm not.
right.
I'm paying attention for that hour, and then as my dog or whoever starts to get a little bit like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna just let this play in the background. I'm pausing.
No, yeah,
Here's where
of
I'm gonna
course.
pick up from it and everything like that. So
Yeah.
those are my 1, 1, and 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
All right.
that's mine.
My number one's Oppenheimer, man. I mean, I was him for Halloween. I thought the movie was fantastic. I think I texted this to you. I really do think this is like the pinnacle. This is like the peak of Christopher Nolan's career. Like, how do you make a movie so first off, cinematic, beautifully shot, and well written about the guy who created the atomic bomb, and you really wouldn't think there's, I'm sure it's an interesting story of how it's created, but like
but you
an
wouldn't think
in-depth story
you wouldn't
of
think
it.
it's that kind of a story.
And
exactly.
And seeing the perspective of him and his emotions while making it, and then the after. Well, I won't get into. I don't know how far you are. But like let's just say the aftermath of it, of the bomb, and how he felt afterwards.
Oh, of course, dude, crazy.
It was great how they explained his emotions, the star power in it.
Well, Cillian Murphy killed it. Robert Downey Jr. is killing it.
Yeah, they both killed it. They all killed it.
Yeah.
And then you have your surprise, like, cameos, if you want to put it as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say a certain name because I don't know if you got there yet, but he's full of makeup. You won't even recognize him at first, but then it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's what's his name.
Yeah.
And you get hyped when you find out who it is. So the star power was amazing. It just everything about it, and as far as I know, it was all practical. So
yes, it was. To my knowledge.
No, yeah, I think to much respect to Christopher Nolan to even dedicate himself to not using CGI in a world full of CGI nowadays. So I think that's incredible. I think this is one of his best movies. I do think. Yeah. I do think The Dark Knight is his best movie, and then behind that would be Oppenheimer. Behind that would be probably
Interstellar over Inception, or you're an Inception guy over Interstellar?
No, I'm actually an Interstellar guy over Inception.
I agree 100%.
I think I would put Interstellar 3. Yeah.
Again, I haven't finished Oppenheimer, but I might put Interstellar over Dark Knight.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Interstellar is phenomenal.
So good.
I saw that shit in IMAX.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I know.
That's the movie you've seen him in.
Yeah, you're right. There we go. Full circle there. Yeah.
Who's paying attention?
But yeah, man, it was I think it's one of his biggest achievements ever in his career. At the Golden Globes, even though, the Hollywood Foreign Press are nobodies. Me personally, and I know a lot of other people, those awards don't matter.
Joe Coy absolutely shit.
Yeah, so I've heard.
The bed.
I've heard.
I
didn't even watch the monologue. I heard.
Atrocious.
Yeah, I heard that.
So bad.
Yeah, and he's a comedian.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But all it is, you're right, all it is a popularity contest for a lot of it. But a lot of stuff brought home the right awards.
They were playing it safe this year because the Golden Globes is kind of on thin ice of...
Succession?
No, I'm not saying they're not well-deserved.
Succession over The Last of Us was crazy. I thought Pedro was going to win it over...
I agree.
I
agree, but then again, I haven't watched Succession. But what I was going to say, the Golden Globes, like, it is a popularity contest, especially that, like, the voters for that specific award show are... They really have no legitimacy. Sorry, but they don't. I did the research on them. They're really not. And a lot of people, even the actors don't really respect them. They have a hard time getting the actors to actually, show up to their award show unless like they're nominated. Yeah. So for instance, like the only reason Taylor Swift was there was because they put her Eras Tour movie in
what music?
No, dude.
Cinematography?
Let me tell you something. This is the most bullshit award name ever. The best box office success movie. That's the award. Okay, but don't make it like it's a guessing game of what it is. We all know what it's going to be. You could look it up online who made the most money at the box office. And who won? Yeah, it was Barbie. Okay. Shocker. Whatever. Anyway, but the Eras Tour was on it. And that they purposely put that award on there for Taylor Swift's show. Whatever. Anyway, what was I even going with that? Oh, no. Christopher Nolan won his very first Golden Globe for Best Director. Right there for Oppenheimer.
And he was there. With Taylor Swift as his date.
Taylor Swift.
You're such...
Actually, Oppenheimer swept the floor at the Golden Globes.
I won't do it. I won't touch it.
Taylor Swift?
I won't touch it.
Are you not a fan?
I will not touch it.
All right.
I legally am not allowed to.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's such a... Everything has to be bubble wrapped for her. That's all I'll say. We'll keep on. Okay. Everything's got everything's in a popularity or she gets a participation trophy.
Ah, gotcha.
In the world that we live in, I can't say her. Whatever.
We'll move on to our top 5 most anticipated of this year, 2024.
I have a couple honorable mentions,
Me too.
And I have 2 least excited for.
Love to hear it. Okay.
All right, least excited. Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I think it'll be decent. I really do.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's needed. Like, I think you had a good thing. Just like with like White Chicks. The comedy behind White Chicks is, oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You can leave that.
Yeah.
The Truman Show, my favorite movie of all time. If I found out they were making a Truman Show 2, would I be like, okay, it's intriguing. I'm excited to see what they do, but don't.
Yeah, right. Not needed.
There's movies that don't need to be
No one's asking for it because the first one's already perfect.
If you really, really want, make some kind of like a spin-off for it. Like I know,
sure.
I know this is the Mean Girls, the next level or whatever. I don't know the extent of it, but it's just like you could find another way to connect it somehow without it being almost like, oh, it's Mean Girls.
It is a remake. It is a remake.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a remake instead of we're making it where Lindsay Lohan's kid, which I think...
I don't think that is the case, though.
But I thought there's some involvement. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
There might be. I didn't do too much research on it.
Yeah. And
the one thing I'll appreciate about this remake is that they are doing a little bit something different with it. They're making it a musical. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. But you're talking about... You're revisiting a classic.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, look, hopefully it's good and people watch it and they like it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it if, my wife wants to watch it.
I will tell you what, though. I'm as far as on social media and everything,
I haven't seen anything
there is no buzz for it.
And it just came out.
Yeah,
right?
there's no buzz for it, whatever. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
My other one is Madam Web.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I'm cautiously optimistic about it because like there's a chance that it could do something. Like maybe the movie's not great, but at the end that we finally get some more like, okay, we're churning, we're getting back.
Sure.
Because it's going to be our first Marvel, right?
Oh, like
of the new year.
Yeah, but
the Marvel's
it's not
ended,
MCU though.
I know, but it'll be the Venomverse.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit about the Venomverse.
You liked Venom though.
I do like Venom. Yeah. I do. I think Kraven looks good.
Kraven's on my list. Honorable mentions list.
But Madam Web looks like total dog shit.
I don't think
In fact, the only aspect that I like about it is and this could be very well a rumor of a story plot point, but they're trying to the villain who looks like Spider-Man in the trailers is trying to kill Ben Parker from Peter Parker ever being born. So Spider-Man doesn't exist. Apparently that's the whole concept of them. I am interested in that. That's cool. The trailer was dog shit. The trailer was dog shit. And I hate how do you release that? Like I'm sure
how do you confidently release that?
Exactly. And you know that for a fact, especially the male audience. They're already skeptical about the fact that this movie's being made. And you're going to release a trailer like that No, I'm sorry. No.
No good.
No.
All right. Honorable mentions.
Okay, I got 2.
Okay, I got 5.
All right. Okay, let's get to it.
If the animated movie, John Krasinski's
Yeah.
Imaginary Friend movie.
Yeah, I think okay. Yeah, looks okay.
I think it looks intriguing to me. Like,
Me too.
I think John Krasinski's doing a lot. I think it's cool to see that he's taking his next step into.
I agree.
from
Something
acting,
different.
Directing, and again, he's taking on these different roles. Right? He was in The Office. That was what he knew.
Yeah.
Was known for.
Yeah.
Then he went to
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Killed it with both of those.
Yeah.
Then he went and became Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Yeah, right. I forgot
Way
about
back.
that.
Love that.
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So it's nice to see that he's changing it up, and now he's doing an animated versus real life.
Yeah,
movie.
I like the concept
it's,
too.
Ryan Reynolds.
He's
Everyone loves
John
Ryan
Krasinski's reuniting with Steve Carell in this movie. That's awesome.
That's exciting.
That is
and
exciting.
We'll probably get some Office references, which will be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah,
Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued because it's rated R,
Yep.
and I really do love Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah,
I like him as an actor a lot.
I think it could be a lot of fun.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm again cautiously optimistic with it because it seems like it could be in that Madam Web verse of
Yeah.
like, oh, what are we? Okay, maybe it's not what we thought.
Exactly.
But it could knock our socks off and
Sure.
go, holy shit, all right, cool. Sony's going to stick to R-rated, PG-13, TVMA, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
and really kill it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Beetlejuice, the second one.
Good choice.
Very intrigued, very excited to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
Again, original cast returns for the most part.
Yeah.
A couple additions.
Yeah.
Who is it?
New additions?
Yeah,
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
I mean, that's the only one I know.
Perfect
Yeah.
casting. So
Yeah, I agree.
killed
I
it
agree.
with that.
Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah.
What a long title. Joker 2.
Folie à deux, or however you say it. Yeah. Yeah.
Frank is a do.
It's like DEUX
Which is the French version of two.
of 2. Right.
I think.
Right. Yeah, I believe
Dua.
that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Nosferatu movie.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that actually. Yeah.
Roger Egert's, love him, dude.
Yeah.
Love him. Love
Yeah.
him, love him, love him. So those are my honorable mentions.
You know, it has nothing to do with that movie you just
Yeah.
stated, but did you see the news about that Frankenstein movie?
Yeah, they recast Andrew Garfield
With whoever it is. And he's recognizable to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's a good actor. I'm sure it's a good choice.
He was the Priscilla, and he was
Yes, he was
Silver,
Elvis.
and he was Euphoria.
Yes, right. I haven't seen him in any of it.
Oh my god!
I'm sure he's a good actor and everything. I'm sure it's a good choice. But would I have liked to see Andrew Garfield as the monster? Yeah.
Well, why do you think it didn't happen?
Well, as far as the reports go, it was because of the strike, and then schedule conflicts followed.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah. I'm sure that's true. I don't think there was any
listen,
bad blood.
I agree, but if scheduling conflicts could be one of two things. Obviously, it could be the person just is like, okay, well, I can't do it, which is fine, great,
Yeah.
okay. Or it could be a good excuse for them to get out of a movie they don't want to necessarily do. Again,
True.
Andrew Garfield's prioritizing something else where, I mean, listen, dude, Guillermo del Toro's like...
But that was about to bring up. I don't see how you could pass that
turn
up.
down.
Exactly.
Not only that, like,
Exactly.
yes, the Frankenstein verse of those movies didn't work out with them, what they were trying to do with, remember that whole, what was it? Monsterverse we were
yeah,
doing
with
that?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That was The Mummy. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the good thing is now it seems like Guillermo del Toro might be doing that. Why would you not want to? Why would you pass up on that opportunity? And also to be recognized as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Frankenstein
a classic.
is one of the most recognizable things ever.
Without
probably.
a doubt. It is.
Darth Vader, Mickey Mouse, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Off the rip,
Yeah.
Off the rip.
You're right.
Charmander. Robin,
Charming.
Shaman,
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, that's my top 5.
I agree.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
You got any more honorable mentions?
No.
Okay. I got 2 honorable mentions. One of them is Joker 2.
Okay. Do I?
Yeah, Dua.
Do I?
I put it on an honorable mention because I'm also a bit nervous for it. That was a movie that was... It, like, literally, like... I'm most definitely sure this was their intention while filming it. Like, this is the only one. This is a single-story picture.
What do you mean?
Like,
The first Joker?
yeah, like, this is it.
Oh, you thought it was done? Yeah,
Yeah,
afterwards.
and I think that was their mentality. And then they made over $1 billion.
And they were like, ooh.
Yeah.
Gotta make another one.
Yeah.
And then we gotta get Lady Gaga.
And I'll tell you what, I love that choice too. Her as Harley Quinn, I actually couldn't think of anything better.
We shall see. I think Margot Robbie was a good Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but as far as weirdness, come on, Lady Gaga.
I agree, but I think Margot
especially in those Joker movies.
Yeah, I think Margot Robbie killed it, and I think she was just in the worst possible scenario.
I agree. I agree.
I know what you mean with Lady Gaga like that.
Yeah.
But I think Margot Robbie was a 1-1 there. Like, even if Lady Gaga kills it, I think Margot Robbie still would be better.
Yeah.
And it's more just because I think she just got put into the worst possible spot of, like, you're the one good thing in 2 different movies that are the same.
Yeah. But if you think about it, though, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is definitely more comic booky.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn is going to be
freaky.
more freaky and grounded.
Yeah, probably.
I like the casting choices so far. The whole musical aspect that's apparently rumored about it, I could fuck with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I could fuck with it.
We'll see what it does.
But if they fuck it up, like that's where greed gets you.
That's it.
And then my second honorable mention is Saw 10. I'm sorry, Saw 11.
Saw 11.
I'll tell you what, Saw 10 came out this past
You
year.
enjoyed it.
I was so surprised by that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I loved it, and the fact that they announced it just recently,
That movie's they're never.
and the fact that they said, yeah, actually, it's coming out next year too.
It's
I was like, oh,
Saw
okay.
11 next year too. Like what?
Does that make me a little nervous that they're rushing? Yeah, of course.
A little bit.
But it's Saw. So how much thinking do you really have to put into it?
Listen, Saw's never going to end. It's very simple.
It's never going to end.
Never going to end.
And this is coming from someone who adored, for some weird reason, the Saw movies when I was younger. I appreciate the hell out of Saw 10 because it didn't continue forward. It actually went back in time.
Oh, it's good.
And I think this next one's doing the same thing. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. You want to start off with your 5 and 4?
Okay, 5.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2.
Yeah. You see, I am not excited at all.
See, I am because I what I put on here is until I see the trailer, it will be at my 5.
Okay.
I think if you still get, because again, it's still going to be Ridley Scott, right?
I don't even think so.
I'll
look it up right now. I don't even think Ridley Scott is directing it.
Then it's out of my list.
Wait, I'll look it up.
Listen, I think you could do the right thing. I think Gladiator's awesome. Like, I think it'll still be a good watch. It'll never surpass the first Gladiator, so I'm not really worried about it.
Oh, it is. It is Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I think... I don't think Ridley Scott at the point of his career would touch it if he didn't think it could be something good. And I think there's a story to be told with his son being the next person to it. Yeah. I also think it's a really good time to do it because there's not a lot of that Roman Empire-esque stuff out anymore.
Agreed.
Where we got that in the 2000s with Gladiator, with Gods of whatever, with City of God, with 300. You could name a whole list of them where for 10 years the market was just that, one of those movies every 2 seconds.
Agreed. Yeah.
So now we're at this point where it's like, okay, cool. We're gone. It hasn't happened in a while. Maybe it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And again, you're getting Ridley Scott to be involved, which is going to be him saying, like, no, it can't be campy. No, it can't be just a story to be told. It has to be something compelling. And, I'm intrigued. I think it could be good if it's the right thing and it's written correctly. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I agree with you with the fact that we'll wait and see for a trailer, but Ridley Scott has like this trend, especially with the Alien franchise. You got to know when to quit, or you got to know you could kind of tell when they're like reaching.
Yeah, well, Prometheus was better than I think people thought.
Yeah, I think you'll get a little ripped apart for that one. I don't think a lot of people like Prometheus at all.
No, I don't think a lot of people like it at all, but I didn't think it was atrocious. I watched 1,000 worse movies.
Oh no,
And I think it's people like, oh my god, Ridley Scott, it's like a fucking 10, it's terrible. Like, okay, it wasn't good. It wasn't great.
Did you see Napoleon?
Still watching that as well.
I haven't touched it at all.
I've heard people
I heard mixed
love
things
for
about it.
me.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
people are like,
That was also
miserable.
Ridley Scott. Yeah,
And I was very excited for that movie.
me too. I thought it looked great.
But
I thought it looked
heard
great.
from a lot of people that it was just like, okay, it was just not what I thought it was going to end up.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. Yeah, I'm gonna eventually get to it. Yeah.
My number 4 is Inside Out 2. I absolutely loved Inside Out, the first one.
Me too. I did too.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I think it's a really good story for adults and for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, Inside Out 2 is going to be my number 4 on that list. And the heavy hitters are coming soon.
Alrighty. My number 5 is Wicked.
Okay.
I saw the Broadway play a couple years ago for the first time ever. I didn't know there was a whole backstory on the Wicked Witch, and you know what?
I'm here for it.
I feel bad for her.
Why? You can't feel bad for her.
Oh,
She's
you
a
could.
loser.
Have you ever watched Wicked?
No, I've never seen Wicked. I'm not a theater guy.
Just wait
I'm not a theater girly.
wait till the movie comes out.
Oh, I will. I'll go watch it. Oh, wait. HBO show? No, what was the movie? Was it called Oz?
Yeah, Disney came out with a James Franco Oz the
Yeah.
Great and the Powerful, which was, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was apparently horrendous.
I think I watched it, and I don't think I hated it.
You want to know why? Well, it didn't deal with majority of the main story at all of The Wizard of
I
Oz.
remember watching on my laptop, weirdly enough.
Yeah, that's one of those properties that is public domain, but like
Wizard of Oz?
yeah, but you can't use the main story. Like you could use that world, but you can't use the main story. So that's why they made Oz the Great and the Powerful.
Okay, well,
But Wicked, dude, it is a fantastic story, a different perspective. And
I'll watch
Ariana
it.
Grande, man, she's involved. There's going to be a lot of singing in that movie, obviously. I'm all for it. I'm all for
Ariana Grande makes my top 5.
it.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is Beetlejuice 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I am very excited for that.
Love Beetlejuice.
I love the first movie.
Love the first one.
Michael Keaton is fantastic as Beetlejuice.
So good.
And the fact that he's back, what's her name? Ryder. I don't want to... Winona Ryder's back.
Winona Ryder.
And, Jenna Ortega's involved too. And I think she does great in every horror aspect movie. I think that's what she was made for.
We didn't talk about Scream either. How crazy that all was.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it because
no,
it's
but
kind of it is crazy how fast that production
All that
fell
stuff just
apart.
Fell apart. And a lot of people liked the new Scream movie.
Dude, I loved the new
know,
Scream movie.
A lot of people
I
did.
think, and I didn't
And
watch all the
crazy that it
Screams.
just-
I didn't watch all the Screams.
Yeah.
The latest Scream that came out
was good.
is one of the best Screams.
Yeah.
It's a shame because they probably had a pathway of how they wanted to end this new trilogy, and now it's in shambles. Yeah.
Unless again they go back and they're like, we made a mistake. They won't.
I don't think so.
No, they're not going to.
No.
But,
Yeah. Which is a shame.
yeah.
Yeah, Beetlejuice too, man. I mean, I listen. Hope they don't fuck it up. That's
I think
it.
it'll be okay.
I think it'll be okay.
Is the original one? It's not Tim Burton, is it? Or is
Yeah,
it Tim Burton?
I'll look that up. I want to say so.
Hey,
Yes.
Siri, who wrote and directed Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice is a 1988 American fantasy horror comedy film directed by Tim Burton.
It is.
Written by Michael.
Yeah. So
Hey, Siri, who's directing?
it is.
Okay.
It is Tim Burton.
Thanks,
He
Siri.
is back.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. For some
it's
reason, I thought that like Tim Burton just took
Yeah.
the helm of this because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah.
But that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That is my number 4 and my number 5 and 4.
Cool.
Go ahead.
My number 3 and my number 2. Furiosa.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting it on there.
Very intrigued.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be better than Mad Max.
Definitely not.
Mad Max was so good. Was so effing good. And I'm still hesitant about Furiosa. I think there's some things about it.
Yeah.
But again, since this is my top 5 and I'm intrigued by all these, I was like, you know what? Cool. It can go on my list. Could Gladiator 2 pass it? 100%. If Gladiator 2's trailer blows me out of the water, I'll be like, sick.
Right.
Because Furiosa's trailer was fine. But
I actually
thought
like
it
the
was
trailer
good.
a lot.
But I guess there's just, to me, I'm still just not seeing it. So, and you know what? I'm going to watch Mad Max when I get closer. I'll watch it again. I'll understand it more. I'll watch some videos on what are you missing in between the movies.
Right.
And then I'll figure it out. But that's my three.
I'll tell you what. I'm very confused. Why?
What's going on?
No. Why they decided to go with a prequel on a side character rather than continuing Mad Max Fury Road.
That's what I thought they were going. Well, I thought there's still a chance they still do continue it.
I hope they do,
heard.
but
I heard they were.
But they're definitely focusing on Furiosa right now because they're calling it a Mad Max saga, which means there's definitely going to be 3 of them. Yeah, that has to be what it means, right? I think so.
Maybe.
I think that's what.
Unless they did make 3 off of different people, which they could do in Mad Max. Like, stick with Anya Taylor-Joy the whole time. They can just bounce around.
Chris Hemsworth, pretty unrecognizable. Pretty cool.
Very unrecognizable.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Love it. Mm-hmm. And my number 2. Any guess? No, actually, don't guess because then you might give away my one.
Okay.
Deadpool 3.
Gotcha.
I put on here it is the perfect gap movie in between the Marvel stuff we've been watching, and I mean that. I think it is the perfect of where we're at right now in this Marvel verse.
Yeah.
Of where we're in like, oh shit, what's going on? What's going to happen next? And instead of going right into a super sci-fi one, I think it's going to be great that I think Madam Web and Kraven come out prior.
I don't know.
You think they might?
Mm-hmm.
So if they do, I think we're going to get a run of 3 movies in a row that are all super grounded movies. We might not love them all, but they're all way more like realistic than a Ant-Man and a Miss Marvel and a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a really good bridging movie for what we're looking
I think Deadpool 3 is going to be more multiversal than you think.
No, it's going
So
to
in that
be.
sense, I wouldn't say it's grounded.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to be fighting a big alien blob.
No.
That's what I'm okay with.
There's going to be a lot of callbacks and cameos.
I'm fine with that. But
I'm fine with that too.
Grounded in the sense of Deadpool, how Deadpool's been.
Yeah.
Deadpool has never been fantasy for me, like futuristic fantasy, whatever.
No, right.
It's always been more like, okay, cool, it's Deadpool. He's the good guy, bad guy, whatever. But he's more down to earth. It's more lifelike, right? With the cancer diagnosis and the first
absolutely.
All of that
Yeah.
makes it way more real to me than, my daughter's in space stuck.
Right.
And that's fine. Again, I love Marvel. You don't don't get it twisted. But it's just like I think for me it'll be a good like okay cool we can reset all this and get our back on track.
It's also his introduction into the MCU. This is an MCU movie now, and with that being said, it's the only MCU movie being released this year. So it is a nice break, and I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal movie, which is even better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna. And I think, too, like, again, we got Echo. Echo was a good start.
Yeah.
Right? You liked Echo.
Yeah.
What other shows are we getting this year?
I think just Agatha.
Agatha?
Yeah, but just remember, Madam Web and Kraven is an MCU.
They're Sony, but...
In the sense they're connected because of multiverse.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt they're going to cross paths.
We'll see.
I don't think so.
Who knows now? Again, they might not, but I think it could set us up for a really good next Spider-Man chapter of what's going on.
If those movies are good, that's what's going to matter.
But even if they're not, Spider-Man's going to continue to some degree.
Yeah, but in the MCU.
But what I'm saying is that you could build up those other movies to be again, because we still haven't gotten Sinister Six yet.
Right, but Madam Web and Kraven and Venom, they're all in it, like... They're not in the same universe.
No, I know that, but I'm saying with all the multiversal stuff now, this would be the perfect time for you to be able to bring all of them in to where we're at right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if Sony and Marvel can agree to it as well as it makes sense in the story. But, like, Madam Web and Venom, maybe not as much, but Kraven fits in with the Sinister Six of... Those are the people you've built in those other Spider-Man movies in the background. So, okay, plug and play him right in. That's what you've been trying to do. You could even go ahead and put fucking Venom in there for all it matters, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they're building to a cohesive story where yes, it's not connected in Marvel necessarily, but I think we can get it there if need be, if that makes sense. You know what
If need be, but it goes back to my key point.
Yeah.
If it's good, then sure.
If not,
it's like it never happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I think, anyway.
Oh my god, like the movie that won the Oscar.
Yeah, Morbius.
Yeah,
man.
When it won 2 Emmys.
How could you...
Jared Leto, Best Actor of the Year.
Shit, man.
2020.
Yeah, that was revolutionary.
Yeah, man. He started COVID.
Okay.
I'm kidding. It wasn't bad. But regardless, this is a comedy podcast too. People don't take my jokes out of context. Don't get offended by it. I'm making a joke. Ha ha he he. Laugh at me.
Did you say, was that your 3? Deadpool 3?
2.
Oh, it was.
You need your 3 and your 2.
I know what your number 1 is.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
It's a tie. That's why you don't know it.
Well, I know what one of them is.
You know what both of them are, bro. Think hard enough.
I do know what both.
You know what both of them are.
I know what both of them are.
You know what
I'll say my 2 and 1 right now.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I'll guess yours, if that's okay.
The cat.
Yeah, okay. Me trying to be,
different.
5 is 5, 4 is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
edgy.
I did put, this was hard for me. I am very excited for both of these movies. But I did have to put as my number 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. My number 1, could you guess what it is?
Dune?
No.
Wow, not even on his top 5.
No.
That's crazy.
I am still very excited for Dune. But
oh, your number 1 is Sonic.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I'm sure a lot of the viewers, too, are going to be like, pretty fucking stupid choice to make that your number 1. You think that's going to be like your favorite movie of 2024, but
yeah,
listen,
you've loved every Sonic so
that's
far.
what I'm saying, dude. I think they're so good, and I don't even think the Mario movie would have happened if the Sonic movies, both of them, didn't have as much success as they did.
Crazy that the Sonic, we go back to probably the first 2 years we were doing this when all the Sonic stuff was coming out.
Dude.
Remember all the stuff we were talking about with it?
Because of his design at first.
I watched episode 1 the other day, and I was cracking up.
Of our podcast? Were we talking about Sonic?
I don't think we were. I don't even. We might have mentioned it. But
yeah.
I was just thinking about it. I was just looking back. I'm like, God, man, we did this.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But okay, all right. Sonic at 1.
So we'll go backwards. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Shadow's involved. My all-time, probably not even just favorite Sonic character. He's one of my all-time favorite video game characters of all time. He is so badass. He is the vigilante who could be good or bad depending on his own choice in the scenario. His backstory, which do you know his backstory?
No.
Dude, phenomenal. Like Eggman's father created him. He got his memory erased, and now there's clones of him. He doesn't know which one's the real him. It's awesome.
Okay.
It is awesome, and I hope they incorporate all those story points in this third movie. In fact, in this third movie, have you ever played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube?
Love it.
Line to line story point. They better do that. My only concern with it, Jim Carrey's been saying he's retired. I don't know if he's even involved with this third movie. I think he plays a excellent Eggman.
Love Jim Carrey.
Me too, man. I don't know if he's involved with this third one, so we'll see. That's my only concern. Now, my number 2 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I am majorly excited for this movie. That's all I really.
That's all I got.
The trailer, like they've proven just from the trailer, like it's still the same great animation and CGI and motion capture and all that stuff. The only thing I really gotta say is just my main concern is that I just hope they don't tarnish that trilogy.
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either, but it's still in the back of my head.
Yeah, of course.
Still in the back of my head.
I was cautiously optimistic with it.
Yeah.
Listen, my number 1, can you guess?
Yeah, I'll guess. I know them. I know both. I know your tie.
Okay.
All right, Dune Part 2.
No.
No?
No.
Well, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is it?
No.
What?
It's the Walking Dead first movie, and The Walking Dead's second movie.
Shut the fuck up.
No, it's Dune 2.
It is. Yeah, okay. Dude, you had me for a second. Yeah.
I want that reaction.
You
got to thumbnail that one. What? No, yeah. Dune 2, self-explanatory. Again, I've made Dune my favorite movie for 4 years in a row, even though it came out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah, someone called you out on
YouTube. I'll never live that down. So it is what it is. Again, that's how good it is. It's my favorite movie every single year because I watch it. I watch it every 2 months.
To be fair, it came out, I believe the first one came out in like late December.
Yeah, it came out right at the end of the year.
Yeah, so technically it was still out in the new year. You could have still seen it in the new year because it was in theaters. Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, I'm just, I think it could blow the first one out of the water.
I think that 100%. I think the first one showed major backstory and setting up.
Yep.
The second one's going to go balls to the walls, action, and
then the third one's going to be wild. So
Yeah,
I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome. I really am super excited. And then, I mean, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Again, I am the worst because every time we make a top 5 list, it's a top 7 to 12 for me because I'm always putting ties. But this is the hardest probably one I've ever made of a tie because these are, again, I have been so vocal on Dune being one of my favorite movies that's come out.
Without a doubt.
Dune 2, I cannot wait for. And then, again, Planet of the Apes, if you go back, is my number 1 trilogy. Or no, it's my number, I think, 2 trilogy behind
Star Wars.
No, dude, Lord of the Rings was my
one.
And so maybe it's 3. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, some kind of variation of that. Dude, that's saying a lot. It
definitely is.
Fucking good. It is such a good story. It's also, I think, like really cool to watch where, full circle moment, we're talking about earlier in this episode how you don't have to touch certain things, right? Certain stuff should be just left how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me 15 years ago, even prior to the Mark Wahlberg one, I'm probably just going to say, yeah, you could probably do something with Planet of the Apes, but like maybe we don't need to touch it because it was such a cult classic, right?
Yeah.
It was such older generation loved it. So it was like, do you need to do anything? Probably not.
I see where you're going with this.
Okay, great,
yeah.
you could. Mm-hmm. But guess what? They took a risk. Mark Wahlberg didn't work out. But instead of them being like, fuck, all right, well, now we're beat.
No.
They said, nope. Don't worry about us. We got this. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they wrote a story.
Yeah.
And they made a movie. And that shit was so good.
They took the risk and also...
And it told the perfect story of how we as humans abused these animals and how we turned them into what they became and then how the disease spread. It did all of those things without you being like, I just don't understand how the humans got extinct. They told you in a post-credits scene.
Yeah.
Then they told you about how the humans started fighting each other.
Yeah.
Then they started talking about how all these areas started getting overrun by humans. Then it's just a masterpiece of that. And now that we're going to get a next generation of it, I just think it's
gonna be. I think it's gonna be massively different.
Oh yeah.
Because you're talking about a whole bunch of new aspects where, humans may not even be involved.
They're basically instinct.
Yeah.
Well, there's a girl in it. There's like one girl.
Oh, is there?
You watch a trailer, there's one little kid or something.
I don't remember.
Like that. So it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy because, again, you're probably talking a nice time gap where now, again, where the time gaps of the other ones were, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years most.
Yeah.
You might be at a 15-year time gap now.
Sure.
There could be major things going on.
Yeah.
The apes could be almost fully sentient into where the old movies were, where they're wearing robes and they're doctors and they're all these things.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome to see that begin, because if this is now going to be only one of what's going to be 3, I think we're going to be at an awesome point to see where they can tie this all into.
And, bringing up to the point that you said with Gladiator, like, if they didn't have a good story to tell, I don't think they would have made it.
No, and I think...
Especially if they're planning it as a trilogy, they have to have a roadmap.
And you know what? I think, again, if this was just a Gladiator 2 and it was, someone else doing it,
then...
different story.
Yeah.
You're right with Ridley Scott and Alien, but at
Yeah.
the same time, if you look at it, you can sit there and say, okay, but this is one of those movies.
I know.
Like, they're not, Gladiator is Gladiator.
Yeah.
And again, they've messed these up before, so it's not like it's impossible.
Right.
But if we're talking about like a Wonka remake and a Gladiator remake, there's one I'm going to lean more towards.
Of course.
I'm going to say, okay, cool. I think if Ridley Scott's on, great. Was Tim Burton on for Wonka? No. Okay, well, and again, I know he's not the original one, but I liked the Johnny Depp one.
I love the Johnny Depp one. Yeah, but you know what? I got to say it. The Gene Wilder one is the best one.
Of course, yeah.
But Johnny Depp, I thought was great.
I agree. Yeah. But then again, it's like this Timothée Chalamet one could have been really good. I don't think Tim Burton was involved.
No, he wasn't. But it was the... those bear movies? Paddington? It was that director.
Paddington's rated like one of the best movies ever.
I know. I haven't seen a single... I haven't seen both of them.
But they're rated in the 90s every time.
I know.
Insane.
Yeah.
We live in
I got a question for you, and I think I might ask you this question every time, which is going to happen a lot. But every time you have a tie for one of your numbers...
Which one's better?
Not just that, but like... If Dune Part 2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes released in theaters on the same day, what are you seeing first?
I'm going to see both of them the same day.
But what are you seeing first?
And I will see Planet of the Apes first and then Dune.
For what reason? Are you saving the best for last that you think is going to be the best for last, or what's your thought process?
I'm more excited for Planet of the Apes, the new chapter of it. I've gotten something else of Dune. So give me the new one.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on with this, knowing there's more to the trilogy.
Yeah.
Getting me excited for 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Dune, I've seen the first one, so I know what's happened. So give me the second one, and then I know there's a third to come. But I'll see Planet of the Apes. I'll be like, holy shit, I can't wait. There's more to come with this. Now I'm going into the next movie that I've already seen the first part of. Let me see what they can do with that.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the way I'd go about it.
Sounds like a pretty long day. I'm sure those movies are going to be at least 2.5 hours long each. Yeah.
Give it to me.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us this episode. We did pretty good this episode. Listen. We are gonna do 2 episodes, or we're gonna try to do 2 episodes a month for you guys. I'm gonna talk to Luke about the one after this one, after this episode is over. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments below. What are your most anticipated movies of this year? What were your favorite movies? And hell, even TV shows of last year. Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on all social media platforms at Frank_videos. And you could even listen to this podcast audio-only version on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. So, listen, this was our first part of the new year, and many more to come. So stay tuned, and peace out.
So we meet as an A North once a month. We either go over issues, scheduling, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we will do scheduling 3 times a year. We do the fall, we do the winter, and then we do the spring. You sit down, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, girls soccer, right? And you like go scurrying around this room.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Brick. Oh, I gotta go see. Jay, you want to play me?
Oh,
so,
that's
great. How it is. And of course, I would never know that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like looking at my list, and then like people are like, "Hey Beth, do you want to play us here?" I'm like, "Nah, you're on my no list. Sorry, bud. No, you're on my no list. You must be really good." Or
it's like a board game or something like that. Yeah.
We'll do the fall scheduling actually Friday for next year.
Oh, okay.
We're doing it Friday.
Wow.
Which means you have this all set up, and then all of a sudden you're confirming over the summer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't want to play." And it's like, oh, don't do me dirty now.
Yeah,
don't
right.
you do me dirty. Right. I'll remember this. I'm not going to forget this.
Yeah.